What's up guys, Black Scout Survival, and today we're going to be going over escape and evasion, noise, light, and litter discipline. And you know, this is a very important topic, not only for escape and evasion, but also for counter tracking or anti-tracking, you know, trying to get rid of trackers. And some of these topics I'll probably cover in future videos when we go over like counter tracking techniques. But escape and evasion, noise, light, and litter discipline is paramount, and also for tactical movement and tactical operations. But basically, you know, these few things is basically how to reduce your signature in a wilderness environment and as well as an urban environment. Just reducing that signature that you've been there or made movement there. We're gonna go over a few techniques, a few tips, and help you in this type of noise, light, and litter discipline. All right guys, so let's first go over noise discipline. And you know, initially, let's think about our own alarms, or you know, noises and ringtones and stuff we have. Watches, make sure your alarms and stuff like that, all your little beeping is off. Your cell phone, make sure that's cut off. And if you do have a cell phone, I mean, in a escape and evasion situation, you really don't need to have a cell phone on you anyway. Not only because of noise, but just because they can track cell phones. But another thing is, like when you're walking through the woods, you know, you hear lots of snapping of twigs, leaves, and stuff like that. You can't completely make that disappear, but you can get like some thick wool socks and large wool socks that will fit over your boots. Put them over your boots, and they'll kind of mask that noise, you know, and it will reduce some signature spoor that you may leave from tracks. Not totally, but it will help some, you know. But we'll get in that stuff in counter tracking in the future. Like I said, that'll help reduce that noise. It'll give some, you know, insulation between you, the heavy boot surface and hard boot surface, to that soft, crunchy materials down below. The other thing is that your water. You know, you're always going to carry water. Hydration bladders, you know, make a lot of sloshing and stuff like that because they always have air in them. Ideally, you want your water to be full, you know, because you hear this, you can hear that very well. But the problem is you can't keep your water full all the time because you got to drink it, you know. But ideally, you want to have your water full. Now, in the military, what we did was if we sat down, we'd open one canteen and share it with all the guys until it was empty, and then put that one back in the canteen. That way we'd all drink out of one canteen till we finish it off. That way we had no slosh, and we had all full canteens, and some guys had empty canteens. But if you're in a group, that works, but if you're by yourself, that's not gonna work. You know, so try to keep it full. Don't use hydration bladders, but you can also get something to like insulate the noise. You know, you can hear this worse than you can hear, you know, this. And especially if it's down inside your pack, it's gonna help kind of reduce that noise. But another thing you can do or that you need to do is secure your straps on your pack. You know, you see all these pack straps that kind of like hang down. You see this tape here, and you can get this Coyote tape from Battle Systems LLC. But let me just take this off. I got both of them taped up, but you see this strap like this, you know, I got all this stuff hanging off the side. You know, I've tied these up. These things will snag branches and stuff, and they'll make noise. You know, you want anything tied up or cinched up, and so it doesn't break or snap any twigs and make noises while you're moving through the wilderness. So you want to police your straps up and police any gear that's hanging off the side or anything like that. Anything that's making noise or rattling, you want to reduce that. Velcro, you don't want to be using that when you're out there because that makes noise too. But you know, just trying to reduce that noise. Another good thing before you go out on a movement, you know, jump up and down with all your gear on, put it all on your pack and everything, and jump up and down. Anything you hear rattling or moving, go ahead and fix that up. You know, buckles or anything, metal buckles that's moving like on your rifle or something, you take them things up. But that's pretty much the basis of noise discipline. Just anything loose or rattles on your pack, you know, canteens, cover your boots to reduce those noise, and just cut off all alarms and stuff like that. And don't talk, be quiet, you know, when you're moving through. Don't be loud, just be very quiet, don't talk, unless you have to use hand and arm signals, you know. But let's go ahead and go over light discipline. Okay, now let's go over light discipline. Light discipline, obviously, you know, using flashlights, you wanna have filters on them, you know, like these red filters, you know, stuff like that. Like I went over in tactical lighting video, you can watch right here. if you do by some kind of chance have to use a white light, make sure you cover one eye so you don't ruin the night vision in both eyes. Like I said, you always want to use, you know, a red beam, but let's say you have to do a tactical, you know, light map check like I've showed in videos before, where you cover yourself up and you use a white light, then you cover that eye. But when you're moving through the wilderness, I see a lot of people, they'll use flashlights or whatever when they're moving through the wilderness. Don't use anything, use the moon. It's bright enough, I promise you. After you get your night vision focused, you can move just fine with that. You want to make sure that you're not using any lights and stuff on your watches. And as far as watches, you know, this glass right here, this is a Sunto military core, but and it's all blacked out, but that glass right there can cause a glint, you know, a watch glint, a glare glint. You want to flip that watch around towards you. Make sure you don't have a metal, or if your buckle's metal here and it's silver, make sure you black it out. But that way, any glass glint is going to be at you and not at people going out. Jewelry, obviously, you don't want to have any of that on, you know, wedding rings, stuff like that. Take that off, or just wear gloves. Sleeves are down. Camouflage, you want to use, you know, face paint, camouflage style face paint. Cami up your face, any exposed skin. And we'll go over camouflage in detail later in the future. But your knives, you know, if you're using silver knives, like this is a actual bead blasted Survive knife, so it doesn't have any glare on it. But let's say you do have a knife with a glare, you may want to go with something like a blackened blade, like this black coated Survive GS077. But you want to use non-glare knives, you know, something bright like a Mora. For instance, puts off a major flash in the wilderness. So, you know, if you do have a knife that's very flashy or something, spray paint it. If you're going to be going in an E&E situation or a tactical situation, spray paint it. Leave the edge, you know, leave a part of the edge unpainted. I mean, it's a tool, so it's not, don't worry about if it looks pretty or not. Obviously, you don't want to smoke, for one, because of smell. Two, for the light it gives off at night. Especially with NVGs, you can see that stuff for a mile away. You know, I've looked through NVGs and seen somebody smoking from far away. It looks like a beacon light going off. And just your own eyes, you can see somebody when they take that inhale, it gives off that. So no smoking, don't do that anyway because it's unhealthy. But another thing about night vision goggles, you want to break up your outline, because even though if you're all camied up and stuff like that, you're wearing neutral colors, you're moving in the darkness, somebody with NVGs can see that human outline that you have. So you want to break up your outline pattern and stuff like that. But anyhow, most of these things are pretty self-explanatory. You know, any kind of gear that you may have on your pack, any buttons or anything like that, snaps, you want to paint those, make those non-reflective. But let's go ahead and go over litter discipline. Okay guys, so let's talk about litter discipline. You can see there's some MRE trash here, water bottle, cigarette butt, and you know, some eating stuff. Basically, you know, I can see this looks like one person's trash because there's a water bottle, one cigarette, and just a few things on one spoon. You know, this litter like this can, one, leave a trail, two, show your enemies or trackers that you're eating, you have food. They can show you what you're eating, and you can see, you know, this is obviously somebody, you know, if this wasn't in a foreign country and I was tracking somebody, I'd say, oh, well, they have MREs, so they probably know what they're doing. They're trained, ex or former military, or they're, you know, into preparedness, and they know about MREs. So this person is gonna, I'm gonna have to be smarter than. So litter discipline, you know, you don't want to be walking through and breaking twigs and stuff like that, you know, leaving just any kind of trash or waste on the footprints left, you know, on the ground and stuff like that. And we'll cover some of that stuff in future vids. But also you got to think about waste too, and this is kind of a crazy thing to say, but you know, all your solid waste, you're going to have to pack it out. You know, you need to carry bags for that. You're going to have to pack it out. You don't want to leave it around, because if you do leave it around, then people are going to be able to find it and or see it. Dogs can smell it and lead them to you. But this was Escape and Evasion, Noise, Light, and Litter Discipline. Hopefully this helps you out in any kind of situations you may find yourself in. But check out BlackScoutSurvival.com for more tips and tutorials. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.